Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show, the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. As always, I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and like I always, I try to bring y'all some heat. And today, I'm making sure I am bringing, in my opinion, one of the absolute best rising stars in not just the UFC, the entire combat sports world. Yes, I'm talking about boxing, kickboxing, regardless of an organization. I don't give a fuck. That's what we're talking about. We have none other than the man, the myth, the legend, T-Rex, Terrance Mckinney. Brother, what it do? Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful day. I'm doing this in my car today, so my son can sleep a little bit longer and not be crazy. So, yeah, let's rock.
Well, dude, you a real one, man. Like, I've never seen nobody in the delivery room having an interview while their little man is being born. So really quick, bro, first of all, congratulations on your new child, man. That is incredible.
Thanks, brother. It's Ariel. That's my dog, and, we just got out to fight. So, I still got to do my media stuff. It's a full-time job, so it's being a parent now. So I got to still just manage to do both. So.
Yo, so how is that for you? I mean, you still a young dude, man, and being the fact that now you have the responsibility of being a parent. I mean, like a lot of people say, you get that like dad strength, the different like type of energy when you have a kid born as a fighter. Have you already felt that switch?
Yeah, my last fight, it just felt a little different, It just like I just felt some different type of way. Like I wasn't gonna quit. I had to win for my son, and here on out, there's no choice but to win.
Man, well, dude, it's not like you're not already winning. Like I said, you only have in the UFC wise one L, and you're just like on a fucking tear, bro. You're finishing dudes in the first round. I mean, for those who do not know, 13-4 record, 5 wins by KO, 8 wins by submission. You like choking them out just as much you like knocking their faces off. You're evolving in the sport, and I do want to eventually, I say, we'll get into obviously your background and everything. We got to talk about Shy City. In fact, let me put everything on hold for a second. Let's just rewind for a second, because anybody from my hometown, the city of Chicago, and again, you're now in Spokane, Washington. Salute to Spokane. For yourself, what in the city? What drew you in order just to MMA? Because I know you used to wrestle and things like that, but like, what drew you to the sport?
I would say Anderson Silva. And my mom just always kind of like violent, so like she always like Jet Li, Fearless, like all the old school martial arts movies. My mom was.
Wait, your mom's was out here watching the old kung fu flicks?
Yeah, my mom loved that stuff. She liked the new ones too. That's just kind of been like something we always watch together. Like that. That's our shit, and it's like a whole vibe.
That's fire. That's fire. Okay, let me ask you this then. Well, favorite kung fu flick? Give me your top 2, because I know if you guys grew up watching them, what's your top 2?
Oh man.
See, look, I can tell a connoisseur when I see one. When my man Terrance started stroking his chin, you like, oh, there's a bunch to pull from.
Yeah, there's a bunch to pull from. The anything with the Ip Man in it, anything with that guy. I think what's his name, Donnie Lee Wang or something like that.
Donnie Yen, absolute legend.
Yeah, he a legend, and anything with Jet Li in it. Those two guys, like, I love watching them in the martial art movie. They go crazy.
That's what's up, man. So, was being in MMA something that you always begin growing up watching, kung fu flicks, and high school wrestling, doing your thing for yourself? Like, was it something that you always looked at, like, you know what, I want to do this? Because you're from that generation. Like, when I came up, I'm a little older than you. Like, it was like, you that's when you were really seeing like specialists. Like, I'm a Muay Thai guy, I'm coming over. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, I'm coming over. You're from the generation that you grow up being an MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it like? How was that transition for you?
At first, I really wasn't even trying to fight. I was like, because I was just a street fighter, and like most of the times, I'm from the South,
Sure.
in Chicago. Like, we just see each other up top.
What part of the city?
Cook County I was born in, and then I lived in Linesville, Alabama, growing up. And
Nice.
you know how like most African American people fight, it's just strictly standing, no wrestling.
Oh yeah.
See me up top. So that's kind of like that's kind of like all I was about. If I fall in the street, like yeah, I can wrestle, but if we're in the streets, it's straight down, strictly hands. Like what's up?
Right.
And
To the point that cats used to be like, yo, what you kicking for? What you kicking for?
yeah,
Yo, like, yo, keep it up
it's
top.
it's exactly the like yeah. So then I was like, I'm not really trying to fight. I know I got hands, but I ain't trying to be beating someone up, and then they break my leg or arm or something. My homie's trying to get me to do a fight. I was like, nah. Maybe if I train some jujitsu, I'll be down. But I was like, nah, they ain't about to choke me up.
Well, and they, which is crazy now because now look at you, man. You've really grown on the ground in your submission game and everything, and you've even been battle tested, being in there with dudes like Drew Dober, and you know, like for you, what drew you to the ground game, specifically your jiu-jitsu?
I did jujitsu because I just knew it would be an easy transition to like master since I wrestled in college. So I did jujitsu probably for like 4 months and then like barely trained it after that.
I love that. I love that shit,
Like
man. So
after like
the
4 months,
definition of thug jitsu.
yeah, and then after 4 months, like my coach was putting me there with black belts, and I was holding my own. So after
That's
that,
ridiculous, man.
I went to an MMA gym, and then we got the ball rolling after that.
That's what's up. So let me ask you this: in terms of again your UFC journey and everything, and again, we don't got to hash out everything else because, oh, and I do want to say in terms of you know, obviously a very inspirational person in the sport. The fact that you've gone out, you've talked to kids about your past troubles and things like that. I think is so commendable. So salute to you for that. First and foremost. But in terms of again going to Spokane, what made you go? And I know you have a new management team and you're doing a bunch of other things, but what about Spokane got you going up there to be Washington of all places for MMA? What drew you there?
It wasn't me. My mom married this guy named Ross McClure, and then we ended up moving out to Washington and then to Spokane.
Oh, well, salute to Ross, man. I can say because obviously it worked for you. If you got there, putting in the work down there. So now you're traveling around. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with your boy, man. We got like I said, you're down in, you have your new management team. How has that been? I mean, you're going out there, you seem happy with the marriage. What brought you to that?
First I don't like to make any moves without God, so I prayed about it.
Absolutely.
This guy was doing the right things that needed to do. He's talking to my mom already talking to my coach,
Nice.
not just trying to develop a relationship with me. And instantly right
Right.
there, he had my respect because he wasn't just, and he was helping me with my media right away. He was like actually
Dope.
helping all departments and not.
Huh. There we go.
Sorry, let me shoot a text.
Oh, no worries, brother. No worries. I said, my man out here, he has to handle his business, people. I respect that. We got to let him do what he do.
All right. I got that handle. Not bad.
No worries, man. No worries at all. But no, that's great dope to hear. I mean, it seems like it's a great relationship, and it's even brought you to people again. Seeing your relationship with Kevin Holland has been awesome. I mean, you guys have really come together, and it's dope to see obviously two young black dudes in this sport at such a high level. For you, have you even noticed it, or do you even feel? I don't want to say the weight of, but do you feel like you're representing essentially for the culture, being that you are one of the people that grew up like we grew up. You are one of the ones that look like us. How have you felt representing that?
It's huge for me, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been a while since someone was able to get around a black fighter or African American fighter, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to be that guy that's hot again. They get my easy, and I think those guys' times are coming to pass, and I want to be that next figure up to represent our people.
For sure, man. And like for you, again, seeing those guys, coming up, and again, there were the different generations. Obviously, you had like the Shoney Carters and the Den Thomas generation of those guys, and like you talking about Adesanya and them now. Who else do you look at of your class that's like, yo, we're the ones repping now? Who are you looking around and saying, all right, man, we're in the same type of level in terms of, again, people like for the repping for the culture?
Nee, Sadiq, Mike Davis, you know, bunch
All dudes
of
that have been on my show. See, boy, I tell you, I get them
they're coming up. You know, I think we're doing a good job.
for sure.
And it's
No,
only
you
gonna
guys
get
are
better,
you're
you know,
repping.
because we're most of us are pretty young, so we
Yeah,
still got like at least 10 to like 8 years more to go. I haven't even been fighting 10 years. Now this is like my going on like to be my 6 year, so I'm
that's
fairly
ridiculous,
new to
man.
the game.
I mean, and the fact that you're already again doing what you're doing, and again, we can talk about rankings and things like that, but again, you're talking about up and coming young guys, especially in your weight class. We've talked about it. People have talked about it, and I have to ask, Paddy Pimblett, is that a fight that you think the UFC is saving, or is it, or you think people are dodging the smoke? Well, which one is it?
I think they're saving it. And I forgot to mention Jalen Turner. He's doing big things too. He just cracked the rankings.
Monster.
Monster, huge
Yeah.
155er.
I don't even know how that dude makes 55, to be fair, bro.
Neither. That looks look. If I'm 6'3", I'm not doing it. That sounds terrible.
Hell no, bro. I'm 6 feet, and I would never dreamt of it. Like, you crazy,
It's already. I'm 6'2", and it's already awful. So
man. See, look, when I competed, I was competing at 170 because I walk around like at a buck 90 or so.
yeah,
Like, man, bro, 55. I thought, but now I see how big y'all are, fam. You walking around at like a buck 85. I think I'd have
yeah,
to drop to 55.
yeah. You have to. The guy's a lot bigger these days. Yeah, I'll be walking at like 185. Yeah.
Man, it's nuts, fam. Well, let me ask you this: in terms of seeing again the guys in the when would you like to have a fight like that with Paddy Pimblett?
Next year when it all just lines up and makes sense. I think it'll be perfect.
Mhm. For yourself, man, looking at you in the future, you're obviously somebody that wants to be a future champion. For you, what is your timetable? What would have to happen for you to be the Terrance Mckinney? Throw that belt on. He is the 155-pound champion in the UFC.
First it's either fight Patty or we get a ranked guy, and then we just get the ball rolling. And then
For
by
sure.
like the end of 2024, we're fighting for a title and bringing it home to Spokane. So
Love that, man. For you, what big name would you if you had a ranked opponent, and if it's your choice, who would you choose?
honestly, RDA or
Oh,
like
great.
maybe Dan Hooker would be a fun one. Tony Ferguson. Honestly, any of those guys would be a fun matchup.
Those would
It,
be
it,
fun.
either way, no matter how I fight, the fight's not going to be boring. So fans never expect a boring fight with me because they're out there to spar. I'm not out there to look pretty. I'm out there to make it a fight and make you want to get out of there as fast as possible.
I love that, man. Hey, and there's a reason why the majority of the people that you fought in the UFC, you have finished in the very first round. So it is that dog mentality. All right, before we get you out of here, fam, really do appreciate your time, man. Quick things. When would you like to get back in there?
Uh, for me, it'd be December.
Okay,
But right now it's looking like January, which I don't mind. It gives me time to just enjoy my son,
for
watch him
sure.
grow up.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that, and it gives me time to develop my skills more and just
Love
really
that.
just
All right.
channel it all in. You know,
Is
the
it important?
downtimes you
Uh-huh.
the downtimes usually
Okay,
when you become the best. You know, it's
for
when you
sure.
start seeing things.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's just what I was about to ask you too. I'm glad that you said. Do you prefer taking a couple months off in between fights so you do have that time to kind of learn and grow as a martial artist?
Now I do. At first, people always rushing back, but enjoy
Yeah.
that time off, man.
Oh, for sure.
Let your body rest. Watch some film, and once your
Mhm.
technique is better, you could understand film better, and you might be able to pick up something that you weren't able to pick up the first time you watched the fight.
For sure. How much do you watch film relatively consistently now?
Yeah, all the time. I go back
Awesome.
and watch fights. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. All right. Last couple things. Your weight class is the weight class of killers. We have the killers of killers this weekend. We got Do Bronx Charles Oliveira, the champion that doesn't have a crown, against obviously Islam Makhachev. How do you see that going?
My heart wants Charles Oliveira to knock this motherfucker out, in third round or submit him. The my brain says if it just all depends on the first round. I gotta see the first round, but obviously you know right away who's gonna win at the first
Facts.
round. If there's Islam's can impose them, it's all about who can impose their game first and who can set the tone. That first round is gonna be huge for either party, I think, to set the tone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And last thing, I seen you a WWE fan. I seen you rocking the Bad Bunny shirt before. What is that something that you would love to like to do one day?
Eventually, once I'm retired, because I want to be a 3 division champion. Because like I tell people, I'll fight anyone. I'll fight any weight class. So,
So what were you saying? What, 45, 55, 70?
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Those are killers all around.
When I do the 145, it's just gonna be a one-time thing, and then I'm just gonna give it back.
Like, hey, because I'm about to say, we talking about that's 40 pounds. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That'd be rough.
Right nutritionists and stuff. We can get it done, but I would have wanted to be strictly one time straight for the belt.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, brother, like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got, training right now. Thank you so much for the time. Hope we get the chance to do this again, my brother.
No problem, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. And shout out to God, shout out to Warrior Camp, and shout out to my family. Like I tell people, quit trying to do things alone, man. Once I accepted that it's okay to not be able to do everything by yourself, that's when I really saw the most growth, Like I tell people, it takes an army to go to war, so make sure you have your support team around you. It helped me get a long way, and like I said, shout out to God most importantly. Let's go.
That's what's up, man. Brother, much continued success. I appreciate you. And bro, I can't, like I said, maybe before your next fight, we'll get you back on here. We'll shoot the shit.
Yeah, we'll get a little longer one for sure next time. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. You have a good rest of your day.
Hey, you too,
everybody, man. Terrance Mckinney.
Yes, sir. Gang.
All right, peace. All right, guys, that was my convo with Terrance Mckinney, man. Look, like you said, this dude is one of, like I said at the top of the show, one of the best up-and-coming prospects in all of combat sports. I cannot wait to see what continues happening. And like he said, man, 2024 is a really solid timetable to see him at the top of that division. Next year, I would also love to see him against Paddy Pimblett. I'm telling you, if that fight happens, the way that they both are on the mic, the charisma that they both show, I'm telling you, you can headline a pay-per-view with that next year. All right. With that being said, love y'all. I'm host SERG VICENTE of the Fight Podcast. I will see you guys next time right here on the show. And real quick, please, it does us a favor.